Hi guys, Victoria here. Welcome to my channel. I am bringing you today the September check-in from my low buy no buy year. I unfortunately was unable to upload 2 videos a week on my channel in September because I have a lot of work since mid-September and I don't have time to record videos. Today is the 5th of October and I only now just have the time to record this video of the September check-in, so this will be up hopefully by tomorrow. We'll see if I will have time to edit it, maybe not. Since this video has been on my channel every month since January 2022, I really don't want to miss it. So let's try to shortly discuss how is my no-buy/low buy year going in this year and how did I do in September. The rules and the reasons of my low buy year you can watch in the introductory video that I'm going to link up here and down in the description below. And you can also watch every month my updates on how I'm doing in the 8 categories that I set out for myself, in which I'm doing low buy or even a no buy in some of these categories. Let's start talking about those 8 categories. The first category is groceries. In this category I have a 200 euros per month budget, and except for last month, every month I think so far have kept my budget below these 200 euros, even with the inflation that is crazy at the moment, as everyone knows. And this month I also managed to keep it below 200. I spent 184 euros, so 16 euros to spare to 200. And overall in the year, since January, I have spent 1,692 euros out of the 1,700 which was allocated to the grocery budget. It's 1,700 because in the month of June my grocery budget was only 100 euros as I was traveling almost in the whole month of June and was eating out more than doing groceries and cooking at home. But basically in any other month it was 200 and the total of 1,700 so far, and we are just right within this budget overall in the year of 2022, and I'm hoping even with the inflation that I will be able to keep this up in the next 3 months. The next category is gifts, presents to friends, family. And in this category I have spent this month 31.98 euros. I have spent on a few different gifts to different people, and although my monthly budget is 30 and this month I spent more than 30 euros, overall I'm still doing very well in this budget category. Out of the 270 euros which was allocated to this category, I spent 222 euros so far in this year, so I definitely still have a cushion, and this does not include the Christmas gifts, which is another separate category for which I have a sinking fund in which I'm putting every month a certain amount, but that is not included in my low buy year. Just for you to know, even though we are only putting 30 euros in the gift category, it is because Christmas is not included here. So let's move right to the third budget category, which is the clothing and accessories. In this category I have a no buy, and since March 2022 I have not bought any clothing items. I have not spent any euros in this budget category. In January and February respectively I still bought 2 things which were on my wish list for a while, and these were things that I really needed at that time. However, ever since then I am still writing down my wish list. I still keep a wish list, and from January onwards I will start buying those things that are missing from my wardrobe, or that I need to replace maybe. But currently I'm going to stick to the no buy until the end of the year hopefully, and I still do, as I already mentioned before, I still do put 50 euros per month into this budget virtual envelope, so that by the time January rolls in I will have a bigger sum of money that I can spend on better quality, ethically produced products, then I will be able to invest in a few key items for my wardrobe. And what I also am planning to do is to declutter my wardrobe, but as I mentioned, I didn't have time in September. I am quite busy at the moment with work, but I am really hoping that in October I will have the chance to declutter my clothes. Anyway, I will have to switch around my wardrobe from the summer to the winter clothes, so that is a good opportunity to also go through and declutter anything that I'm not wearing anymore. So there's a video coming up of that as well, so tune in for that. And if you would like to see that video, then you should subscribe to the channel and press the bell button to be notified when I upload it. So overall, so far I have put away 400 euros for this clothing category that I will be able to start spending in January. By the time of January, I will have over 500 euros in this budget category. Then fourth category is skincare and hygiene. In this category, in the month of September, I did not spend any money, which is very good, and it was very important because I have been over the budget very much already since probably April or May, and I was over with 2 months worth of budget, which means that I have allocated until the month of September, I have allocated 270 euros into this category, which is 30 euros per month. And I spent already 308 euros from this budget category by the end of August. So, and now in September I didn't spend anything, so this has stayed the same, which means I was catching up a little bit. However, October is a month when I know that I'm going to spend in this budget category, and I will explain it why in the upcoming video of the October check-in. This will be a category probably by the end of December where I will not be able to keep the budget. This is probably fine, and this just means that for next year I will have to adjust the budget for this category. Even with trying to minimize my skincare and hygiene routine, even with simplifying everything, I still tend to spend more than 30 euros per month in average in this category. Fifth category is books and entertainment, in which category I put 5 euros per month into the virtual envelope. And in August I didn't spend anything, if I remember correctly. This month I went to the swimming pool for a swim, and that is a 7 euro entry ticket for adults, so I spent 7 euros in the month of September in this budget category, because this budget category doesn't only include books but also entertainment and sport. Overall in this category I spent 62 euros this year out of the 45 which I have put in, because I put in only 5 euros per month, but I had a rollover of 50 euros from last year, so overall I'm still below the total available budget. This category includes books, as I mentioned, and books, I am not allowed to purchase any new books this year or even any second-hand books, actually. But I am allowed to pick up books if I can for free, and this month I actually managed to get my hands on 2 books for free at the Volkshochschule, the community college, which is just next to the building where I live. And I picked up a Paulo Coelho book, The Alchemist, which is his probably most famous book, and I have never read it. And a little bit over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I was an avid Paulo Coelho reader. I am not really that anymore. However, since this is his most famous novel, I decided that it's nice to have, first of all, on my bookshelf, second of all, to read, because it's a short book actually, and also because it was in German, so it's good for my German learning. And I also picked up a Ken Follett book, and you know that I really like Ken Follett books, so so far I have managed to get my hands on a few Ken Follett books, either in German or English, either for free or very cheap second-hand, like 2-3 euros per book. So I'm very happy about that. My Ken Follett collection is growing and I don't have to spend so much on them, even though these books are big, heavy, long, so normally they are also quite pricey, but for free, don't mind if I pick it up. And I also finished actually one physical book this month. Maybe I can even show you which one, because it's just right here. Oops. So I was reading this book, and this book is actually very accurate right now to read because of all the news that we hear from Iran and the death of this woman who was not wearing her hijab properly, was not covering her hair properly. And this book is from 2003, is it? No, wait, let me check. Yes, so this book is from 2003, and the time frame of the book is starting around the beginning of the revolution in Iran, which is at the end of the 70s, I believe, and it goes up until the 90s. It's a memoir from Azar Nafisi, and she used to live in Iran. She's an Iranian woman, and she escaped Iran to live and to move to the US, and then she published this book. So yeah, the situation did not get any better since the happenings in this book, which were over 30 years ago, or even for over 40 years ago, which makes me very angry actually. So this was the book that I finished this month, and I also finished an audiobook, and I believe I picked up 2 new audiobooks this month. I spent 2 of my Audible credits this month. I got 2 books. One of the books I'm already listening to, but I still have 10 credits, and I believe my renewal of the annual Audible membership with 12 new credits is coming up at the end of November, beginning of December. So I have to keep an eye on that, because I will probably have to pause my subscription or cancel my subscription, because I still have so many credits that it doesn't make sense to get 12 more for another, I don't know how many hundreds of euros, because I don't know how much it would cost. Like last year I spent 93 euros or around that, or 87 euros for the annual subscription, but it was a sale. And this year, if it were to renew automatically, I don't know how much would I pay, probably around 145 euros, which is unnecessary at this point. I can postpone this to next year. Or next year I can decide if I am going to do the annual or monthly subscription. Yeah, so that's how we are doing in this category. Then 6 budget categories: technology. Technology in September I didn't spend. Normally I have a no spend, so I am not allowed to buy any new gadgets or like electric equipment in this year unless it breaks. So basically already this year I had 2 things break on me which I had to replace. Obviously I had to spend on that because I needed both of these things, but I'm not allowed to get anything new if I don't necessarily need it, or if I just, like would like to upgrade something, because why not? However, because of these other 2 gadgets breaking on me this year, I realized that technology is a budget category where I should probably keep kind of an emergency fund. So I decided to start building some kind of an emergency fund, not necessarily just for technology, but anything which comes up unexpectedly. So far in this like miscellaneous or unexpected category, I was putting away very little amounts of money, and I decided that it has to be a higher amount per month to be able to cover any bigger expenses that might come up. So yeah, that's a learning point of this low buy year. 7th budget category is supplies, cleaning supplies, kitchen equipment, stuff like that. And this month, or in the month of September, I have spent 2.71 euros in this budget category. I just bought some cleaning things like a brush and stuff like that. I think 2 things. that I needed in my kitchen or overall for cleaning, and the budget is normally 20 euros per month. However, we have been over this budget quite a lot already before, so with only spending 2.71 euros this month, I really was able to catch up on this budget category a lot, but I'm still a little bit over. So out of the 180 euros that was allocated in this budget category, I spent 185 euros and 86 cents. So we're getting very close. If I could spend less than 15 euros in October in this budget category, then I could catch up. You will see at the end of the month if that's the case. And the final budget category is furniture, in which I kind of changed my goals throughout the year. In the beginning of the year, I still had one thing that was already in construction for my apartment back in Hungary, which I had to pay for. So that one I knew about in advance, and I knew that I will have to spend that money. And then I was supposed to have a no-buy, and then I had another thing that I wanted to purchase, but then I realized that I don't have the money for it. So ever since then, this was in May when I realized that I probably can't buy a cheap version of a cheap shelf for my books, because these cheap shelves actually can't hold very heavy items, and books are heavy. So the capacity of the bookshelf that I was looking at for, I don't know, 100 something euros was 5 kilos per shelf. And I was like, okay, what the hell? I mean, 5 kilos is nothing for a shelf. So I decided that I want something sturdier, something better quality, but the better quality bookshelf, which is really made of wood or at least some kind of sturdier material, which can hold books and not bend in the middle or even break, would cost me a couple of hundreds of euros. So I started to just save the money for it, putting away 50 euros every month, and currently I have 450 euros available in this budget category, which is probably still not enough to buy the bookshelf of my dreams. So I keep collecting, and we will see at the end of the year how we do, and if there is any bookshelf that, because I also don't have yet a bookshelf pick that I would like to buy, so I also will have to research that. But yeah, so no spend in this category, and it is easy not to spend, to be honest, because I am saving up for something, so there's the motivation of keeping my focus, and I'm not even going close to these furniture stores so that I don't get distracted. Yeah, so it's not hard. The same with the clothes. If I don't go window shopping or don't go into the city to walk on the shopping street, then I am not shopping for it, because I don't do online clothes shopping. I need to feel the material, I need to see the item, I need to try it on. So I don't do online shopping, and I also don't do returns. That's another thing with online shopping, which is like, no way, Jose. Plus, it's an added carbon dioxide emission to get it delivered and then potentially get it delivered back if you don't like it. And then what happens with the returns? You know, maybe it's just being thrown out. So not doing that. And it's easy if you do it like this. If you just don't go wherever you would be challenged to buy something, then it's easy not to buy anything. And normally at the end of each video I tell you what I actually spend the money on that I was able to save by not spending on other material items. And this month I went to Dublin for work, and I stayed for the weekend to explore Dublin, so that was one of the things where I had to spend, of course, like for accommodation, for food, and souvenirs or attractions. So that was one of the bigger things that I spent on. And I also had a friend visiting me this month, so we were going out a little bit more to eat out than I would normally do with her. And yeah, we were just exploring the city and enjoying ourselves, and that is where I spent a little bit more than I would in an average month. But this month was actually overall a quite low spend month, other than these two things. And yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for tagging along. Hope to see you at my next video. Until then, watch my previous videos from this series and subscribe to my channel. I hope you liked it. Give me your comments down below and press the like button, and see you soon. Bye bye.